everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. And are you ready to see the highest experience that anyone ever got in 2023? Well, spoilers, you've already seen it if you've been a subscriber to this channel. The highest experience that anyone got outside of a Churchill, because that vehicle doesn't count with its experience multiplier, was actually Rossberry in their BZ176 in a game that I released a month ago. And then if we look outside of the BZ176, because many would consider it to be a tank of cheating proportions, then really the top experience award has to go to ZIL44 ZIL for their awesome game in the Tortoise on Mines, which was 2,417 base experience in a tier 9. That is outrageous. So to still give you the highest experience of 2023 that I guess you haven't already seen on this channel, I went to look to see what is the most that anyone has achieved at tier 10. And lo and behold, you are going to be checking out the highest experience game at tier 10 for the entire year. And it is, our hero is Riboy91, who is playing on the EU3 server. So, Riboy representing Europe with the highest experience game at tier 10 that was uploaded onto the What Replays website. And they are playing in the tier 10 German medium tank. It is the Leopard 1. This vehicle, man, after seeing the Leopard 1, after having to play the Concept 5, this thing just almost feels as if it's just a completely different class. You actually have damage per minute. You actually have camo rating. While you don't have quite as much accuracy, I would argue, than on the Concept, if you do decide to improve the Concept's accuracy, whereas on the Leopard, I make my accuracy worse to improve my rate of fire. Again, just preference. Just everything about this tank is great. I guess apart from the armor, right? It's got 9 degrees of gun depression, one more than the Concept. Has really good high explosive rounds as well on this vehicle with 105 millimeters of pen. If you want to have 500 alpha damage, no problem, the Leopard can do it. It's funny because the Leopard's win ratio isn't really that impressive in World of Tanks. It's doing a good amount of damage, but again, with all of these kind of vehicles that are true glass cannons, unless you put on an absolute amazing performance like Riboy is going to do today, this is one of those vehicles that you're kind of living, you're like living by on the edge of your seat, right? You're kind of just surviving by the seam of your pants, right? To be able to do well in this vehicle. So what a perfect map for a Leopard 1, right? Riboy is on Prokhorovka, and you're going to see that. Whoa, where did that one go? I think Riboy actually stopped and went, what? Probably, but I think it's either that he's hit another vehicle. I'd be very surprised that missed. I wouldn't be surprised if that Leopard was actually hiding behind someone. Although, considering that pretty much every single vehicle on the enemy team is spotted, apart from the E50, who was actually spotted up on the other flank, it would actually towards the center. It would surprise me if that one wasn't a miss. But then again, there is a 268 version 4, a Minotaur, and even an FE405 that it could possibly be. So we'll have to see whether Riboy did hit a blind shot when we take a quick look at the post-game stats. So what Riboy is going to do fantastically in this game is just keep working the flanks. I love the way that they relocate. I love the way that they're not getting static. They're looking for opportunities on one position. Then they're using the great mobility of the Leopard to go and look for other opportunities elsewhere. And this is really where I think if I was playing in a Concept, I would have just been spotted by the E50M, because the Concept has the same kind of camo rating as the E50M there. And it'd be surprising if the bush would work. The Concept is so frustrating for me. Also, by the way, can we take a moment to realize that even though QB is commentating on the highest experience game in a tank that isn't the Concept, he still can't shut up about the Concept. Obviously, I am immensely triggered. This year, 2023, the year where Wargaming messed up with possibly the greatest opportunity that they had. A British wheeled medium tank. An absolute disgrace. The absolute tarnish of 2023. I'll get over it maybe next year, maybe 2025 when they buff it, hopefully, right? I digress. Let me focus back. But it really is, it's not, I'm not kind of, it is kind of relevant, okay? Because I'd say that the two vehicles have very similar play style, and they have quite similar statistics. It's just the Concept is pretty much worse in every way. And you've got to think that when two vehicles do have that same kind of role on the battlefield, but one just provides, at least in my opinion, so much more fun gameplay, albeit without the turret armor that the Concept sometimes has. But then again, this vehicle has a better mantlet than the Concept has, so I guess it swings in roundabouts. It's only natural to draw comparisons between the vehicles. But gosh, just look at this Leopard. Talk about German engineering. This absolute precision gun, as well as also feeling like you have the rate of fire to be able to go along with it. Now, unfortunately for all of the free-to-play players out there, a lot of you might be thinking, oh, finally, a replay where a hero who got the most experience is firing no gold ammunition. Well, unfortunately, that's because Riboy has actually moved the gold rounds to the 1 key. And woof, I did not realize this thing gets 1,600 meters a second shell velocity on its premium rounds. That's not quite as good as the standard rounds on the K91, which I believe have the best shell velocity in the game at 1,700. But that still means that you barely have to give any lead when you are literally traveling the entirety of the map in, what, 2/3 of a second with that. That's awesome stuff. So, the enemy are pushing, Riboy is spotting, getting some shots into the TVP at the same time. Unfortunately, they get spotted. And already in this game, Riboy is up to 5,500 damage and 1,800 assistance. And remember, when you are going for the highest experience of 2023, it's very important that the damage that you're dealing is against tanks that you are spotting. And also that you're spotting for your allies. Because remember, if you aren't spotting a tank that you are damaging, you are only getting half the experience that you would otherwise. So you could get 20,000 damage in World of Tanks, and it would be the equivalent of doing 10k if you aren't spotting for yourself. Now, don't get me wrong, that's very impressive to still do 10,000 damage, but it's not nearly as impressive as doing pretty much 1/3 more damage than anyone has managed to really achieve inside World of Tanks. So when you're trying to go for your ace tankers, if you're trying to go for your big experience games, it is not enough to just sit back on the red line and wait for somebody to do your job for you. And wow, look at that view range. Riboy spots the 268 version 4 at a decent distance, not only puts a shot into their side, but they also get pretty much the entirety of that tank in spotting as well, at least 1,000 spotting there against the 268 version 4. And now Riboy's game is starting to look crazy already, and I can tell you, they are not even half done, boys and girls. 6,700 damage in the first half of this battle, and now 3,000 assistance as well. It's already an ace tanker, I'd say, even if Riboy was to fade away through some bad luck. And trust me, the Leopard 1 does get ammo racked a lot, so bad luck is not something that you want to have in this big German beast. They would already probably still have the high caliber medal, and that would be enough to give them an ace tanker with this kind of a performance. I never really considered how good those bushes were on the east of this map. Riboy has managed to put great use. I've never really thought about flanking over from the east, flanking over from the west. Usually what I would do in this scenario is I would probably just try and scout along the bush line and hope that I can be able to win the western flank. Riboy finds themselves, literally, look at their team. They're just all at the back of the map, and here is Riboy putting on a masterclass of relocating, sniping, and scouting, just keeping their team in it. This is one of those magical situations where a player has been given an opportunity to have one of the greatest games in World of Tanks history, and because they're a great player like Riboy, they haven't floundered yet. They are rising to the challenge. They are just being that linchpin that keeps the entirety of their team together. Now up to, this is getting silly, that's 12,700 combined in the first 9 minutes of this battle, and there's still 9,000 hit points left on the enemy team. Just how much more can Riboy get? So deja vu, I think that's the second E50M that Riboy has now dealt with on top of the hill there. Or is that the same E50M? No, it's just me having a deja vu moment. He just shot him earlier. It's the same blooming E50M, QuickyBaby. It's like, stop trying to pretend. Stop trying to pretend there are multiple E50Ms. At least I'm not trying to pretend there are concepts in the enemy team. As Riboy crests the ridge and manages to get a shot into the Super Conqueror. And I have to admit, I'd say that Riboy was very fortunate there that they didn't get hit by anything. But I also understand what Riboy is trying to do, and there's the shots coming in from the Leopard. Riboy is trying to do medium tank 6 rapid fire for the Object 260, which requires them to destroy 6 vehicles of 3 different types. And you'd think that you'd have 6 kills if you'd done 7,500 damage, but not quite yet. So now Riboy is literally over 14,000 combined in this game, and it looks like they may have spotted a Leopard up, another 700 assistance. And unfortunately for them, they don't quite get their gun on target quick enough, and the Super Conqueror finishes them off. Now 13,300 combined in a Leopard is preposterous. This is the kind of stuff that you only do in a light tank on Prokhorovka. And the crazy thing is, you would consider that to be a good game for any tier 10 light tank on Prokhorovka without the fact that also Ryboy has done as much damage that would be considered a great game for any tank on any map, right? 7,500. Now it's just getting silly. 8,500 assistance. This feels like it's a math challenge right now. We're at 16,000 combined, boys and girls. This is just absolutely preposterous stuff. Ryboy is not done. They shoot the IS-7, and they expected to not get spotted there. Luckily, the IS-7 misses, but Ryboy is not backing down. They want more damage into the IS-7, but unfortunately, that means that they catch a shell from the TVP in the backside. Their team manages to finish them off. Ryboy doesn't get any extra assistance on the TVP, but they do get assistance on the IS-7. Now up to, what is that, 17,000, nearly 18,000 combined. Just madness, actual madness, boys and girls. Ryboy is definitely getting fortunate occasionally in this battle. When they're taking their chance, they're not going to get spotted, where in fact they do. But luckily, the enemy team just don't have the reactions to be able to get the shots in. This game now not looking very close, so it's more of a case of just how high can Ryboy go inside this battle of World of Tanks. There's a full health Minotauro still on the enemy team, but there's only 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. So I feel like Ryboy needs to possibly try and turn the tempo up here, but also I guess they're worried about getting spotted by the artillery or getting spotted by the Minotauro. And almost as if they can hear me, Ryboy decides to take the fight to the enemy team, going forwards to go after this IS-7, who fortunately is not using any field mods, so that should mean that they're an easy target, right? Ryboy looks towards the side, gets a fire on the IS-7. Now over 9,000 damage dealt with over 9,000 assistance as well. 8,000, nearly 500 combined is just madness, absolute madness. And luckily, Ryboy gets their 6th kill, meaning that they have now done medium tank 6 for the Object 260. And yeah, they're making some progress on their Block 13 mission as well. However, for Ryboy to do this mission with honors, they have to survive. But I wonder what they're going to go for. Are they going to go for the survival, or are they going to go for possibly one of the greatest carries I have ever seen in World of Tanks? In just such a wonderful vehicle. This Leopard 1, just look at it. Even it's got this kind of like Japanese gilding process where they believe that if you break a jar or a pot and then you put it back together, you can improve it, and it is more beautiful in the way that it comes back through the gilding process there. I digress for the second time this video, as the artillery only does 20 damage to Ryboy, and they have 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to be able to try and finish their quest of having possibly the greatest game anyone's ever had in a Leopard. Ryboy sees the Minotauro, takes a swing for them, finishes them off, securing their 8th kill, and now is going after the Object 261, who thankfully has taken the field mod to increase their hit points. Ryboy finishes them off, and just what? Just actual what? 19,000 combined that we saw, and 9 kills to boot. This literally, it has everything that you need to get the largest amount of experience ever. You've destroyed nearly 2/3 of the team. You've done as much scouting as would be an ace tanker in a tier 10 light tank, and as much damage as it would require to get an ace tanker in all of the other vehicles that deal damage in World of Tanks. So just how much does it give? Well, how about 2,023 base experience in a tier 10 tank? That is just absolutely preposterous. Unfortunately, Ryboy didn't hit any blind shots, and they didn't get any extra blind spotting, so this was the pure 19,000 combined game. And to be able to achieve that, Ryboy had to fire 33 shots, 29 hits, 27 pens, and drive nearly 5.5 kilometers to be able to keep their team in this one. The only thing that I didn't like is Ryboy only fired gold ammunition, but they still make a 35,000 credit profit even after spamming all that gold, so do you think they care? I certainly wouldn't, as this was an experience record for the ages at tier 10. So Ryboy gets the Radley Walters medal for those 9 kills, unsurprisingly a patrol duty for doing so much scouting, a tank sniper for dealing a lot of damage at long range, and a high caliber for that wonderful 9,000 damage total. So Ryboy, congratulations to you on getting the highest experience anyone achieved at tier 10 that uploaded it onto the What Replays website in 2023. This game was kind of 2 ace tankers in one, right? An absolute amazing example of just being the glue that keeps your team together. the best part of this replay for me was when you were literally at the front on that ridgeline, and the whole of the rest of your team was as far back on the edge of the map as they can be. And if that is not the opportunity for heroes to rise and claim epic victory, I don't know what is. So Ribboy, congratulations to you on this mammoth game of World of Tanks, and thank you so much for uploading it onto the What Replays website for the community to enjoy. I thoroughly did, and I hope all of you out there enjoyed my commentary in this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments down below, what is the most base experience you've ever got in World of Tanks, and which tank was it in? And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon. And if you're watching this video as it goes live on Friday, I'm going live all day on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby with brand new token drops. So come along, get yourself some epic styles, including the fantastic, like the tank engine style for the FV4005, or possibly some of the rare premium tanks that you might not have. So really looking forward to seeing you all live right now on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.